reached out to him, let him know what I was trying to do. At first, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, yeah, okay, whatever. He probably felt that I was just like a little kid trying to get a verse or something, but he took me serious enough to reply. We exchanged a couple emails, and then I had people down here at the time I was shooting a music video that actually somehow or another had ties with him from whenever he was signed with Rick Rubin and everybody. And I'm talking about, like, dude, it's a small world. I mean, homeboy had like a manager down here type deal, and we just hooked up. He made it possible, and from there on, man, I mean, we kept a good relationship, and eventually that relationship led for me to do, you know, more and create better relationships with other artists such as Sinful, Crooked Eye, and Royce the 5'9", because once you kind of align yourself with someone within that market or someone within that sound range, people start taking you serious. It's like, you know, you got to align yourself with the right people. So, you know, I started aligning myself with Chino. I headlined the show out there in Long Beach with him, and with Sinful and Crooked Eye, and man, from there on out, it's been love. I mean, you know, he just actually did a show out here on April 20th. I actually brought him out. You know, that's kind of the whole being a promoter, being an artist deal, you know, where I could actually be like, hey, you know, take care of me. I'm going to reach out to you, get you paid, come out, because, you know, it's been a great relationship ever since then. I mean, you know, ask him about me. He'll co-sign on me. And that's definitely a blessing. That's definitely a blessing. It's been a great working with him. I actually... Man, it's just been an honor. I don't really know what else to say other than that. You know, it's kind of surreal.
That's what's up, man. Okay, cool. So that's a good relationship, man. I'm glad that's going good for you, man. And as far as you mentioned it earlier, you know, you have a lot of stuff going on within the events and whatnot. I know you have a few community events over in your area in Texas where you're doing. Can you tell me about that and, you know, what your involvement is within the community events?
Yeah, well, you know, within the community over here, you know, this is my whole take on everything. You know, whenever you get to a certain level of success, whether or not people want to embrace it or not embrace it, I feel like you hold a responsibility to yourself and the community around you. For me, personally, you know, whenever I won the awards, because they have the awards over here in my city where the newspaper runs, like the music awards where they give the best artists or whatnot. I've actually won the best rap artist 2 years straight over here. I felt like I hold a certain responsibility to myself and everybody around me, because to me, my whole take on it is if you got a gift, share it. You know, what's good at having it if you can't share it with anybody? You got to be humble with your approach. And once I realized, hey, you know, this is what I'm doing. This is what I got to show for it, because at the end of the day, you have to be credible. You have to be credible to do anything or pull anything off, especially like holding an event or being able to do something charitable or whatnot. See, for me, when I created the Total Pandemonium series, it was really something that I started giving back to the younger people. You know, and see, the thing about it is, had it been anybody else, I don't know if it would have worked the way that it worked. And I'm not talking about the promotion aspect. I'm not talking about the marketing aspect. I'm talking about the involvement and people actually going, well, you know what, this guy actually knows what he's doing. He has something to show. Because my take is, hey, you know, what makes you think that person's going to do anything for you? What has that person done for you to make you believe they're going to do anything for the community? Yeah. And in this case, for me, you know, I had enough credentials stemming back to 2-3 years ago where, you know, they could actually see, like, well, damn, this guy actually, he really can help. And now I'm at the point where I literally, you know, want to do something where I could give back completely to the community. I do feel like I already am up to a certain point with the kids being able to, you know, take part of this event. Because, see, the thing about the event, which a lot of people that aren't familiar with the event, it's an actual all-age event where I bring in dance crews, and they're primarily, you know, teenage dance crews, anywhere from 13 to 18, maybe 19 years old at oldest. They come in, they compete, but it gives them something to look forward to around here. It gives them something to focus on. It's kind of like my whole thing about it is, it's like I'm trying to get this to replace, like, kind of become the new gang around here, because gang and crime violence around here was bad in the 90s. So, like, I'm really trying to scratch that. And the parents really respect it. You know, the press is starting to look at it around here, and they're really starting to respect it. And it means a lot because, I mean, I literally built this from $120. And then from there, it built up to what it is today. And it's still growing, like I said, by the day. And hopefully here in the next couple of months, we could turn around and just do a big free event and use it for charity. That's my whole thing right now, where it's almost like I believe whenever you have a gift as an artist, you have a voice, you become a missionary, you know, and what good is having it if you can't turn around and really actually give to anybody. You know, you can't be greedy with what you got. You know, like, I'm serious. Like, I'm like, hey, I ain't never had it. So, you know, the fact that I've never had it, I am going to, you know, obviously I'm going to appreciate it, but I do want to share it at the same time. And I think when people see that side of me, they're going to respect it.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree, man. That's definitely a beautiful thing that you're doing, man. I didn't even know that much, man. It definitely sounds like a plan, man. Okay, now Vega, man, as far as your music wise, man, let's go into detail about exactly what type of music you create and your craft and your art form. Tell me the best you can. How do you describe your own music, man?
Man, I describe my music as hip-hop. I describe it as Latin. I describe it as just fun music, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's just, at the end of the day, I just want it to be real. That's what I really consider. Like, whenever you get my album or my albums, I want you to kind of leave almost like you know me. Like, you kind of know the story behind the person. Like, I want to be able to share personal experiences because I know that I'm not the only person that's gone through, you know, for example, a heartbreak, or I know I'm not the only guy that's ever been in love. I know that I'm not the only person that's lost a loved one. You get what I'm saying? That's really what I want people to take from my project. People always kind of try to ask me, like, what would you narrow down your sound to? I always go, well, you know, Latin hip-hop. And the thing about it is, down here, Latin hip-hop has become one of those, you know, booty-shaking music type deal. Like, nah, I'm talking about, like, a Latin lyricist. Like, I want to be able to let people know that I spit, but I also want it to be enjoyable because, you know, I don't want to be too underground. I mean, I am from the South. I am from Texas, you know, so I want people to be able to actually pop in the city, have a good time, and at the same time, like, yo, this guy could actually hold his own. He actually got, you know, skill. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what I try. Like, if you ask me to sum up my sound, that's how really sum up my sound.
Got you. Nice. Okay, that's what's up, man. I'm sure, you know, a lot of people are feeling, you know, that movement within a good mixture of music and a, you know, diverse style, because it is real when you kind of, you know, it's all dependent on what you talk about and what your concept does, you know, within your music and whatnot. So, you know, I'm sure a lot of people will be feeling that, man. Okay, Vega, dude. So, like, I want to know, it's already 2008, you know what I'm saying? I know you've been doing this for quite a while and whatnot. You know, a lot of things have changed within the music industry, and I know you're one of those independent artists that has gone pretty far and been very, 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 you know, successful, and at the same time had a lot of credibility within the industry. What suggestions, you know what I'm saying, and what do you want to tell other artists that are pursuing the same goal? They're trying to get their music out there, trying to make it. What do you want to tell them?
Oh man, this is actually something I was waiting for. It's like right now my take on everything is you got to keep up with the times or get left behind. You know, back in 2002 I kicked off smoothvega.com, and at that time it was rare for an artist, especially in my area in Texas at that, to have a website and be independent and at that promote it, and everybody thought it was kind of geeky, it was nerdy, but me, like, without knowing, I learned a lot from it, and I learned a lot about marketing, promoting, and all that stuff, point of sale. It became a situation where I knew by 2003 where the industry was going. I knew, and even to this day, if you ask me, I really don't feel that the compact disc, the CD, is actually going to be the definitive form of music here in about 10 years. We got iPods, we got phones that hold MP3s. So, like, to me, I knew it was going to be a situation where we're going to have to really get, you know, we're going to have to keep up, or we're really going to get left behind, because a lot of people have an old school mentality. Some of the artists that I know from back in the day still feel that it can only be done one way, but I knew that there was going to be multiple avenues here in the future, and the thing about it is we're living in the future now. So my whole thing is, for any artist that's actually trying to break in and trying to do it, they got to stay on their toes. They have to be on top of the game from every aspect. They have to be able to know what they're doing on a presentation level, because at the end of the day, presentation is everything. They say never judge a book by its cover, but the reason they say that is because people really do judge a book by its cover. So you have to make sure the packaging of everything you're doing is on point. You have to treat yourself like a product. You have to believe you are a brand. You know, the moment you decide you want to make music and you want to push yourself and you actually want to get out there, you have to brand your name off. You know, my take whenever I was younger was, hey, you know, they say you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink it. Well, my whole thing was, hey, you know, I'm trying to promote my music, and I did